Welcome everybody to another Voice of Nick show. This time we're doing something different than we've done in previous episodes. We're gonna do the, I have a sidecar window set up on my iPad, unfortunately very reflective, so you're gonna see the that's the camera right there, or my phone. And we're gonna be building a PureRef document. So the way that I do that, you guys don't usually see what I'm using for reference on my stuff. But usually when I want to build a new picture, I'll look for references and then I will put them onto a document so that I can kind of like look for inspiration of like poses or the way that the Greeks would make a particular, picture or depict an animal or something like that. So just all different kinds of reference. So we're gonna see if we can get anything interesting. First, we're gonna see if we can get any pictures of Neoptolemus, who I'm sure there's a few of. Neoptolemus is the son of Achilles, and that's what this chapter that we're about to do is about. Is about him arriving in the fight. So we're going to try and find some good pictures of him. Astyanax. I'm not exactly sure which. Maybe that's Neoptolemus right there. It's interesting because he kind of looks like the depiction of Achilles on that one piece of pottery. That is him killing Priam. That is him probably also killing Priam. That's him throwing the baby. Neoptolemus essentially is the son of Achilles. He's basically like a duplicate of Achilles because he's just as good as him at fighting. It's kind of like one of those. The Greek myths are based on just a lot of really weird twists coming out of nowhere. Neoptolemus, just as good as Achilles, he comes in after Achilles dies and sweeps up everything and just kills everybody. Or he like turns the whole tide of the war. So he is. He kills Priam, the king of Troy, kind of like pretty unceremoniously as well. He throws the infant son of Hector off the ramparts, killing him as well. And he just totally, essentially turns the tide of the entire battle. So we're going to pull in a few of these, and then we're going to crop them. I guess I'll just take all of them. I like the patterns on this one. I think I'm going to make Neoptolemus look more like this. And you can see this app is great because you can just pull in images, arrange them how you want. It's really, really handy. But I'm just going to pull in all of these. We're going to see what we like about them. And it's useful to also check the similar images here as well. Let's take a look at that. Because you don't only, this is the first stage of our search, but we don't need to only do pictures of Neoptolemus, obviously. We can use inspiration from anything. So one of the things we want to do as well, first of all, let's save this. And we're going to pull in pictures of... Okay, let's bring this over here so I can see what I'm doing. And we will take pictures from, I think it's our Achilles chapter. Nope, this is Death of Achilles. We want to do the first chapter, actually. Yeah, so let's use this. This is our main reference picture for Achilles. We're gonna, I don't know if I can like copy this out of here. If I press copy, you can all see that I'm pressing copy. And then can I paste it onto this document? I don't know. It's not opening. Why is it not opening? Is the sidecar like frozen or something? I think it might be frozen. reopen sidecar. Hold on. I guess not. Oops. That's not good. Close sidecar. And we're going to reopen it. It was definitely frozen. There we go. Okay, unsaved changes in this. No. We're going to paste, possibly paste. Yeah, okay, that works. See, this app is really simple. Love it. Okay. We have that picture of Achilles. There's not really any other ones that I want of like from other reference things that I've gathered, but I would like to see a depiction of a boat. Oh, that's a great one. So the thing is that I want to have him coming in on the ship. Odysseus and Diomedes go out to bring him from Skyros into the fight. But the problem is, if he's on a ship, then he's going to be tiny, and so will all the figures in the image. So it's sort of, we might not actually use this, but maybe we'll use like the prow of a ship or something in the front. Because there's not a lot you can really do with perspective and stuff, and still keep it feeling like Greek pottery. You know, I'm not being like totally beholden to what they would do, but I do want it to feel in some way like it is a piece of Greek pottery artwork. Oh, wait a sec. That was a perfect... Hold on. Because I'm in an incognito window, it doesn't let me reopen a tab. Hold on. What was that ship that I just had? British Museum has a lot of great pieces of pottery. Their book that I'm reading about Greek pottery is mostly pictures from the British Museum, as well as the Getty. So this is an example of a character, probably a god, who is sitting... Oh no, I think that's supposed to be Odysseus lashed to his post while listening to the siren song. But you can see that he's huge on top of the ship, that's a good way of doing what we're trying to do. One way of doing it, which is that the Greeks would often just disregard scale in order to show the priority of characters in a scene. And as you can see for when you were looking at the other reference documents, I don't really it's not like I'm just duplicating one of these pictures, but sometimes I'll take like, oh, this part of the ship looks really cool, I'll use that or whatever, I'll draw that myself. So I'm not tracing anything, and I'm not necessarily like just taking one picture and putting it into another, but I will take like little pieces of it, which is, it's really interesting to think about that, because like any comic book artist or any concept painter and all that stuff, you know, that's what everybody really does. And you know, as an art student, a lot of times before you study art, you say like, oh, well, any aspect where you're like copying a piece of an image, or it has to all come from your head, you know, or else it doesn't count. And then as I slowly learn more about making art in my schooling and just in general, I realized, oh wait, that's actually not true. That's the exact opposite of what all artists do. Because every artist is copying, every piece of an artist's image is copied from something or is inspired by something that they've seen before. It's just about the way that you arrange those pieces and what you add to it that's your own. So now I would like to, like an army, oops, on Japanese keyboard. Because what we want to have here, I would like to, basically I want it to be like, oh yeah, this would be great. Oh, this would be really, okay, got it. The idea then, it's going to be another dual layered picture. This is a common theme in Greek pottery, is that there's like 2 layers. So you'll have like one layer that shows just the army cheering. This is them in combat, but we'll have them all kind of like cheering. And on the top, Neoptolemus is going to be in his ship, maybe standing outside the ship, sort of like, you know, leading everybody. I think that's great. Let me write that down. I have a notepad document with all my notes about what I want to do for the artwork. Where did that open? I don't know. Maybe it didn't open. All right, hold on one second. Work ideas. Yeah, that document is on the other page, but I'm just writing this down so I can remember. It's a 2-layered image on, like the athlete games one. On the bottom, we have the Greek army cheering for Neoptolemus. On the top layer, we have Neoptolemus arriving in the ship, or possibly outside the ship. He looks like the Achilles that I did in book 1. So that's our concept. It's going to be a 2-layered picture. Now we want to build our reference board, because we have more than enough references. We shouldn't have even gathered this much. So what we can do on this app, which is also really great, very quickly crop things. So we really only want the pieces of these images that mean something to us. Oops, we're going to cancel that. And take that. And sometimes what's also great about this app is that it's not like rasterizing the pictures. So even if it's a tiny image, it's still full res to what the image was. So like, on a Photoshop document or something, a picture that's this small would now have that amount of pixels compared to this. But in here, if you zoom in, it actually still is the same amount of pixels. So it's kind of like a vector format for gathering reference, which is really useful when you want to resize stuff. You don't have to worry about like, oh man, I'm going to lose all the pixels when I resize it. So we can have this do like a optimized thing, but we're not going to do that yet. Hold on. First, we want to just crop all these images so that they're only the parts that we really care about. And we'll kind of size them the way that we want. And then it can do an optimized arrangement afterwards. So this is the one we really like. We would like to size this bigger. You can see that in this Greek pottery even, this old thing of Neoptolemus killing Priam is almost an exact duplicate of this picture of Achilles killing Penthesilea. The pose and the way that his armor looks, the piece right there. So you can see that this is a tried and true tradition for the Greeks, is that they would actually copy other artists and use the same artist would use like templated versions of a character so that he didn't have to draw it more than once and he could just copy his existing piece. Yeah, so it's like it's really interesting to see the tradition of that. And obviously I'm not necessarily doing everything that they would do, but I think keeping that up is kind of a cool nod. It's similar to how in Greek stories like the Iliad and Odyssey, you'll see them use the same descriptor for a character like 100 times. Like they'll call the wine dark sea like 1,000,000 times, and they'll say gray-eyed Athena. Like they use the same descriptors all the time. And that's like considered a faux pas. Whoops, what did I do? It's considered a faux pas in modern literature because it's repetitive. But in Greek tales, that was kind of like the tradition, was that you would have those be like recurring themes. So this one, I don't see much value in. I like his armor though, so maybe we'll add some flourishes to the armor. He's not going to be white figure, and he's not necessarily going to have this style of depiction, but I could add pieces of the armor of this into my black figure rendition, which is what's really interesting about this kind of stuff, is you don't really have to look for things that look. Love the way the waves look in this one. I'm actually going to keep that for when I crop this. I think we can, actually our arrangement looks pretty good. I'm not even gonna do the optimized thing. But I think that we can keep notes, which I've never done. Hold on, I think it's T. Maybe Control T. Oh. No. First we're gonna save this, which can sometimes take a little bit of time to save. Now, yeah, these three pictures, 1, 2, 3, you can see are almost the same thing, but they all have their own flourishes. Like the dress here and here, they chose to not put any armor on Neoptolemus's upper section, and this has a totally interesting, more ornate thing than Achilles style armor that he has in both of these pictures. This we chose to replicate. Oh no, did the thing it crashed again? What's up with sidecar? I don't know, but we gotta close it, I guess. How do we close something or force quit it? Oh, on iPad you'd go like this. Yeah. I don't know why sidecar keeps crashing, but luckily it's not crashing the app, it's just crashing sidecar itself. So we should be able to, what? How do I do this? Mirroring, no. They changed the interface for Mac recently and I don't know where anything is. Sidecar. I'm gonna add this. And it should bring all our stuff back. Yep, okay. Because everything still exists on this like fictional screen that's now gone. Okay. So now I want to add text. I forget how to do it. First we want to save. I think we already have that. Let's see. Controls or actions? Maybe actions. Open context menu. What was that? Left mouse button. Doesn't seem to do anything. How do you add text? Okay, hold on. I've done it before. I thought I had done it before. Let's check on Google. Okay. Writable text notes. Control N. There you go. For note, I guess. Good. What does this do? Whoa, I'm changing the color. Cool. So I'm just writing a note. Okay, that works. And for Neoptolemus, instead of having to write that name every single time. And that's about all we really need. We don't need to write notes for everything because we are going to be drawing it immediately, so we don't really need to think too much about it. So that's our ref document for Chapter 7, in which the son of Achilles is brought from the Isle of Skyros to help the Greeks. Looking good. So on the next episode, we will start making our rough outline for the image, and then, of course, we'll begin actually making it proper. I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for joining. This is a new style of episode into how we do the pictures, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.